Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video we'll learn some of the important questions which are asked in CSWIP and interviews. So these questions are very important for interview as well as for CSWIP, and this is part 2 of the question answer series. So before starting this topic, let me introduce you to myself. My name is Sandeep Anand. I am a mechanical engineer and I am having a 14 years of work experience in the industry, and one of my hobbies is to share my knowledge, and I share my knowledge through my website, that is www.weldingandndt.com, and through my YouTube channel, that is youtube.com/weldingandndt. So friends, I would request you to financially support me. To support me financially, you can join my channel. So by joining my channel, you can support give me a favor, and see, joining the channel is different from subscribing the channel. You can join my channel by paying a very small fees of 89 rupees per month, and in addition to this you will get some additional benefit also if you will become a member of my channel. So friends, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook, and if you want to download the PDF of this presentation, then you can go to my Telegram channel and you can download this PDF also. So we'll start with the question 1. The question 1 is, which of the following weld defects is most likely to be caused by poor welding technique when using the MMA welding? So if you are using MMA welding, so in MMA welding, if there is some poor technique, then which of the defect will occur? Option A is hydrogen induced cold cracking. So friends, hydrogen induced cold cracking is not the correct option, because this does not depend on the welding technique. Rather, if hydrogen enters into the welding, then this defect occurs. So this is process defect. Then in C, plate lamination. Plate lamination is a manufacturing defect, and the copper inclusion is also does not come due to poor welding technique. So our answer will be crater crack, B. Now question number 2, which of the following radioactive terms is not associated with NDT? So 4 terms are mentioned, and which one is not associated with NDT? So first one is gamma, second one is cobalt 60, C is thoria, and D is iridium 192. So friends, option C is the correct option. Thoria is not used in NDT. Now what is the throat thickness of a miter fillet weld with equal leg length? So equal leg length means, see, this is the root and this position is called as toe. So toe to root distance, this is leg length. So from here root to toe, this is leg length. So if the both legs are equal, then it is called as miter fillet weld. If both lengths are equal, then it will be called as miter fillet weld. And the distance from root to center of the face, see, this is our center, and from center of the face to root is called as toe. Sorry, it is called as throat. So throat is designated by small a and leg is designated by Z. So root to toe is Z, that is leg length, and root to center of the face is throat, that is a, small a. So there is a relation also. If you know the value of leg, that is Z, then you can calculate the A by multiplying with 0.707, and if you know the value of throat, then by multiplying it with 1.41, you can get the value of leg. So we'll come back to the question. The question is asking, what is the throat thickness of a miter fillet weld with equal leg length? The option A is distance from toe to the face. No, this is not correct. This is wrong. Now option B is distance from root to the toe. So friends, from root to toe is leg, not throat. It is asking throat, hence this is also wrong. Now option C is distance from root to face center. So we'll see root to face center. This is root and this is face center. So yes, this distance is known as throat thickness. So option C is correct. So for question number 3, option C is the right answer. Now question number 4, what is leg length of a fillet weld? Again the same question, means here it is asking about the leg length. In the previous question they were asking about throat, and in this question leg length. So the distance from toe to face, no, this is not the leg length. Leg length is root to toe. See in B they have mentioned the distance from toe to root. Yes, this is the leg length, toe to root. I'll show the figure again, once again. Toe is this point, so from toe to root, this is leg length. Now we'll see the option C also, the distance from toe to toe. So from toe to toe, see here this one is the toe number 1 and this one is the toe number 2. So this toe to toe is face center, not leg. And the distance from root to face center, so distance from root to face center is throat, not leg. So option B will be correct. Friends, option B was correct, but I was reading these options to explain the concept. Now question number 5, what is the ratio between leg length? So here they are asking the ratio between leg length and throat, means leg by throat. What will be the value? Leg by throat. So here you have leg, that is Z, and if you will divide the Z by A, or Z is to A, you will get 1.41 by 1. If there is nothing, means 1. So 1.41 is to 1. So option D will be the correct answer. 1.414 is to 1. Here it is either 1.41 or you can write 414 also. Now question 6 is very simple. Lap joint contain. What does the lap joint contain? It is nothing but the fillet weld. So it is very simple question. Question number 7, which of the following pairs is wrong? So in A you have ASME section 5 NDT. So ASME section 5 is dedicated to NDT. Yes, this is right. So this is not the wrong, so not correct option. Now ASME section 8, yes, ASME section 8 is for pressure vessel. So this pair is also right. You have ASME section 9, so section 9 is dedicated to welding. Yes, this is also right. Now ASME section 2 for nuclear, so this pair is wrong, hence this is our correct answer. See, ASME section 2 is associated or related to materials, and there are 4 parts, that is part A, part B, part C and part D. So this is your correct answer, D. Now question number 8, why is the arc shielded when using arc welding? Why shielding is done in arc welding? So option A is to eliminate hydrogen from the arc region. No, this is not the right answer. To exclude the atmosphere from arc region. Yes, this is the right answer. We try to protect the molten weld pool from the atmosphere, and that is why we do the shielding. So this is the right answer, B. Now question number 9, which of the following butt weld would be considered the most difficult to weld? Double V butt weld, single U butt with backing, single V butt weld, or D, asymmetrical double butt weld? So option C is the correct answer. Now question number 10, which of the following variables will be most affected by variation in arc length when MMA welding? So if you are doing MMA welding and if there is variation in arc length, then which of the following variable will be most affected? So friends, straight away I'll give the answer, that is voltage. So for question number D, 10, the D will be the answer. Voltage will be most affected due to the variation in the arc length. Now for question number 11, what is meant by the term weld junction? Friends, while explaining chapter 2, I had asked this question also. Same question I had asked. So answer is A, nothing but the boundary between fusion zone and HAZ is known as weld junction. Now question number 12, resistance spot welding can be described as? The answer is B. Resistance spot welding can also be described with as welding with pressure. Now question number 13, when MIG welding aluminum alloys in the vertical down position, which current type would normally be required? So you are doing MIG welding and the position is vertical down, then the polarity will be DC-EP, that is the correct polarity. Now question 14, a constant voltage output characteristics would be required for which of the following welding process? So constant voltage is normally required for MIG welding. So option C is correct, MIG, MAG or GMAW. Now question number 15, a submerged arc flux described as sharp and glossy in appearance would be? So friends, while explaining the welding consumable chapter of C-SWIP, I had explained all these things. The answer will be fused. Now question number 16, which of the following welding processes would give the highest heat input when using typical parameters? Which of the welding process will give the highest heat input when the parameters are almost same? So while explaining submerged arc welding, I had explained this point also. So answer is C, submerged arc welding. It gives the highest heat input. Now question number 17, autogeneous welding refers to what? So in CSWIP chapter 2 I had explained this. The answer is welding without filler wire. So in TIG you can do welding with filler or without filler. So if you are doing welding without filler, then it is known as autogeneous welding. Now question number 18, the use of degreasing solvents. See, degreasing solvents are sometimes used for cleaning prior to welding may considered to be an unsafe practice. Why it can be considered as an unsafe practice? Option A is it may cause cracking in the weld. Option B is the weld may contain porosity. Option C, irregular arcing may occur, and D is harmful fumes may be given off. So the option D is correct answer. Now 19, in order to calculate heat input, it is necessary to know. So what are the things you need to know before calculating heat input? So I will see from the formulas. This is the formula for calculating heat input, and to calculate the heat input you need to know the thermal efficiency, voltage, the current, that is amperage, and the travel speed. See, 4 parameters you need to know before calculating the heat input. So the answer is B. In B all 4 parameters are given: current, that is amperage, then voltage, then travel speed, and thermal efficiency. Now our last question, that is question number 20, to AWS 2.4, a weld made on the other side will show the symbol. So for other side, the symbol will be shown above the reference line. So option D will be the correct answer. So friends, with this we have come to an end of this video. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.